Hello learners, welcome to MwalimuPLUS for the today's English lesson. I am teacher Naomi. Now before we start the today's lesson, let us remind ourselves or review what we did in the previous lesson. Now in our previous lesson, we were doing reading, whereby we read a passage, looked at the new words, then did an activity which involved answering questions from the passage we had read. After that, I left you with an assignment that required you to go back to the passage we read and do the activity. So the activity was, you answer that question. According to the passage we read about Naima's home, we found out where the home was located and other things that were in that area, like the museum, the bank, the mountains, and the rest. And the question read, where is the museum located? Where is the museum located? If you were keen when we were reading, then you were able to find out that the museum was located beside Jaka Bank. How many of us were able to give that answer? Very good. That was the right answer. I can see we all got it right, and that means we all paid attention during the lesson. So keep up the spirit, and today I still require you to pay attention in the lesson so that by the end of the lesson you will be able to do the activity here, and the one that I'll still give you to do it on your own, you will still do it correctly. So today we are going to look at verbs with two prepositions. So here we have two parts of speech, verbs and preposition. So before we continue, I would like one of you to tell us, what is this that we call a verb? Very good. She says a verb is a doing word. When we talk about a doing word, we are talking about a word that shows action. For example, on your screen you can see a child seated in the dining place with food on the table. So we can say the child is eating. The action there, eating. So a verb is a doing word. When we talk about a preposition, it's another part of speech. A preposition is a word we use to link nouns or pronouns or noun phrases to other words. For example, on the screen we have a cat and a table. Those are two nouns, cat, table. Now we want to link the two words showing the position of the cat. Now where is the cat? Good. The cat is under the table. So the word under is a preposition linking the two noun words, that is the cat and the table. Sometimes when we do not want to use a noun, we use a pronoun in the place of a noun. So for example, instead of using the cat, we can use the pronoun it and say it is under the table. So still here, the preposition is linking the pronoun and the other words in the sentence. So sometimes in English, we join two prepositions and a verb to make a word. And when we do so, this word is called a phrasal verb. So a verb with two prepositions is known as a phrasal verb. Let us look at the word we have on the board. We have a word with three words, that is carry on with. The first word is a verb, carry. The next one is a preposition, on. And the third one is still a preposition, with. So that is one verb and two prepositions. Now whenever we make a phrasal verb using a verb and a preposition, or a verb and prepositions, the new word we come up with has a meaning which is totally different from the verb used. Now let us see each phrasal verb we make using a verb and two prepositions. What does it mean? So let us start with the one we have on the screen. Carry on with. Now to carry on with means to continue. You have been doing something and I want to tell you that continue with what you are doing. Instead of the word continue, I can use the words carry on with. I can use the phrasal verb carry on with. So looking on the screen, we have children doing some farm work. So if the parent comes and sees they are doing good work, the parent will tell them, carry on with the farm work, meaning they have already started. They are doing the work and the parent does not want them to stop, so they should carry on with it. So the meaning of the phrasal verb carry on with is continue. So make sure the phrasal verb we are going to come across today, by the end you will be able to tell the meaning of each one of them. So let us start with the first phrasal verb, which is a verb and two prepositions. Put up with. Put is a verb. Up is a preposition. With is a preposition. Now when we say put up with, we mean to tolerate, to bear. Now looking on the screen, we have a girl who is washing clothes, and if you check around, it's a pile of a lot of dirty clothes. Simply tells us the girl does not wash her clothes on a regular basis, probably because she's lazy. So if the parent cannot bear with this habit, the parent does not want to for this child or girl to continue being lazy, she can use a phrasal verb and tell her, I will not put up with your laziness, meaning the parent will not tolerate her laziness. Let us look at our second phrasal verb. Now this phrasal verb is made of one verb and two prepositions. Can you identify the verb in that phrasal verb? Very good. She has said look. Look is a verb. So the next two are prepositions. So we come up with the phrasal verb look up to, which means to admire. Someone who has very good habit, somebody whose moral standards are pleasing. You will always want to be like that person. You will always look at that person as your role model. So people we admire, we look up to them. You can say, I look up to my sister who is a chef, meaning you admire her for her profession. Maybe you'd like to be like her when you grow up. So to look up to is to admire. Our next phrasal verb is there on the screen. Let us look at it and first identify the three words that make it up. Now the first one is make, the second one is up, and the other one is for. I want somebody to show us the prepositions, the two prepositions in that phrasal verb. Can someone give us the first one? Very good. Up is the first preposition in that phrasal verb. Then the second preposition is for. And of course the verb is make. So our phrasal verb is make up for, which means to compensate. Now what is to compensate? To compensate is to do something good after something bad has happened, to try and ease the pain brought by this bad thing. For example, if a house is burnt accidentally and then the insurance company builds the owner of this family a new house, the new house will be to compensate the family. Are we together? So to compensate, the phrasal verb we use for compensate is make up for. As a learner, Maybe you have been involved in outdoor activities in school, games, music festival, or even drama festival, extracurricular activities, while others were in class learning. When you come back from the festival, you need to do what others did. So you create extra time so that you can compensate for the lost time, so that you can make up for the time you lost while you were in games and others were learning. Our next phrasal verb is go on with. The three words, one, go is a verb, on, preposition, and with again, a preposition. So the phrasal verb go on with still means continue, just like carry on with. So when I tell you go on with your work, I simply mean continue doing your work. Looking on the screen, you can see somebody cleaning the compound. So I can talk to that person and tell her, go on with what you're doing, meaning continue cleaning the compound. Let us look at our next phrasal verb. It's there on the screen. Give up on. Now, what is this that we mean by saying give up on? Now, to give up on is to lose hope, to despair, to be tired of trying and trying something without good results. Some of us could find a certain subject difficult. You put more effort until you reach a point of saying, even if I continue trying, I'll not do it. So you give up, although it is not advisable for a pupil to stop trying or to give up. So looking on the screen, we have a parent talking to the child, probably encouraging the child not to give up on whatever the child is trying to do. So when you want to tell somebody to keep on trying, not to lose hope, you use the phrasal verb, do not give up on. We have another phrasal verb that is get back to, made up of a verb and two prepositions. Can somebody give us the verb in that phrasal verb? Very good. Get, that is a verb. Then the other two are preposition. Now, to get back to somebody is to give feedback. For example, looking on the screen, we have a mother talking to her children. Now, let us assume they are asking for permission to go on a school tour. Then the mother tells them, I'll talk to your father. Then I'll give you the feedback. As in, I'll tell you what your father decides, whether you will go or you will not go. So, get back to is to give feedback. Now, let us look at our next phrasal verb, that is catch up with. Catch, a verb. Up, preposition. With, preposition. Catch up with. Now, when we say catch up with, what do you mean? Look on the screen. We have a parent walking ahead of the kid. And if you look at the child is trying to walk at a high speed so that he could reach where the parent is. So to catch up with is to move fast so as to reach the other person. So the child is trying to catch up with the mother. Now, our next preposition is sit in for. Sit in for. That is the phrasal verb we have. After using the verb sit, the preposition in, and another preposition which is for. Now, to sit in for is to be in place of somebody. If somebody is absent, you take their position, do whatever they are supposed to do. That is sitting in for somebody. Now, looking on the screen, we have kids. You can see the elder one is taking care of the younger ones. Probably the parents are away. So the elder child has sat in for the parent. She is taking the place of the parent. So the work that is done by the parent, she is the one to do this work. Now, when we talk about prepositions, phrasal verbs, we can change the tense of a verb depending on what we are talking about. So, sit in for still, we could say sitting in for. Let us look at our next preposition, that is look forward to. Here we have two prepositions and a verb, giving us a phrasal verb, look forward to, which means to wait eagerly, to anticipate. Something that you expect to happen and to bring joy, you look forward to it. You wait for it eagerly. Now, like I've said, we can change the tense of the verb. Like, for example, look. It could be looking. It could be looked, depending on the tense of the sentence. Now, looking on the screen, we have somebody preparing a cake. And maybe it is your birthday. So you can say, I am looking forward to my birthday party. I look forward to my birthday party. You are waiting eagerly for the day the party will come. Let us look at another phrasal verb. Look down upon. Now, what is this that we mean by looking down upon? To despise, to disrespect, to hold people with no regard. Now, most of us despise the poor. If you look on the screen, we have children in tattered clothes, simply meaning they are poor. So there are people in the community who despise the poor. Talking to them, and you don't want to use the word despise, you can tell them, do not look down upon the poor. Now, those are the verbs with two prepositions that we've looked at in today's lesson. Remember, I said a verb with two prepositions is known as a phrasal verb. I also said that a phrasal verb has a totally different meaning from the meaning of the verb used in the phrasal verb. Now, I want us to do the activity we have on the screen to check if we were able to understand whatever we were learning. Now, the instructions are: use the appropriate word to replace the underlined part of the sentence. Now, let us read the sentence and see which part is underlined. Jane is waiting eagerly to travel abroad. Now, which part is underlined? Waiting eagerly. That is correct. So, which among the four choices given means the same as waiting eagerly? Peruse through your notes and see if you will be able to give me a phrasal verb that means the same as waiting eagerly. Now let us check what is the correct answer so that you can see what you wrote, compare and find out whether you are right or wrong. The correct answer is C, looking forward to. Jane is looking forward to traveling abroad. If you are able to get it right, then that is good. If you did not, go back through the notes you took during the lesson, revise, do more work, so that in the near future, you will be able to use phrasal verb in your day-to-day communication. After this, I'm going to leave you with a little activity that you will do on your own, so that when we meet next, you will give me the correct answer. The assignment is there on the screen. Let us read the instructions together. Choose a word that means the same as the underlined words. We carried on with our work, even though it was raining. So look at the four choices and see which one means the same as carried on with. Let us meet in the next lesson. Bye.